Hello, unlimited friends. Today I want to talk to you about how to get a good night's sleep. Before I get into it, I have to tell you that if you were in the room with me at bedtime, before you could finish saying goodnight to me, I would already be asleep. Soon as my head hits the pillow, that's it. Good night, world. I'm going to share with you how I became that way because I wasn't like that in the beginning. So let's get right into it. Hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com, and on this channel, we talk about the practical application of the law of attraction to our lives. Hello, unlimited friends. Today I want to talk to you about how to get a good night's sleep. I used to be someone who found it difficult to fall asleep. I would stay up in bed for a couple of hours before I finally fell asleep. But now, if you were in the same room with me and you were saying goodnight, before you finish saying goodnight, I would already be asleep. Because as soon as my head hits the pillow, that's it. I'm gone. So I'm going to share with you how I learned to do this and how wonderful life becomes when you do get a refreshing night's sleep. Hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com, and on this channel, we look at the practical application of the law of attraction towards improving our life. So let's start our discussion. Sleep. It's so important. Sleep is that time when our body and our mind both can reset and replenish their energy. It is so delicious to wake up in the morning and feel well rested. And I know the feeling of waking up in the morning and feeling as if you never went to bed. Because really, you didn't. And the reason is, if your mind does not sleep, you don't sleep. You can put your body to rest, but sleep, the function of sleep, that rejuvenation, the healing that takes place, both mentally and physically, does not happen if we don't turn our heads off. We really need to turn our brain off before we fall asleep or during the process of going to sleep. So I'm going to share a couple of tips with you that will help you to get to that place where I am now, where your head hits the pillow and you're off. First of all, I want to say I wasn't always like this. So I remember a time, maybe about 15, 16 years ago, when I used to stay up almost all night. And I knew what the reason was. The reason was because I couldn't stop thinking. I just could not turn my brain off. And in fact, when I lay myself down to sleep, more worrisome thoughts came to me. It was like an avalanche, because during the day I could distract myself from things that were worrying me. But when I lay down to sleep, all of those worries came to attack me all at once. So it was as if all these problems were making a go at me at night. And so I knew I had to change that. And I knew that it was my brain that was getting in the way. So here are a couple of things that I started doing that really changed everything. And I think things changed for me when I finally understood how to apply law of attraction to the process of sleeping. So first of all, let me clarify. Sleep is a process of defocusing, which means during sleep, we should not be thinking. That's defocusing, because if we are using our minds, we are focusing our mind on something or the other. We are always focused because we are always thinking. When we get our minds out of the way during sleep, that's when we are allowing the universe to replenish the energy in our physical body as well as our mind. that is the time when all healing takes place. If you need healing, take a nap. Naps are yummy because if you can go to sleep during the middle of the day, you wake up feeling refreshed, provided you turn your mind off before you go into that nap state. All right, so let's get into it. The first step towards getting a good night's sleep is to have some sort of habit that programs your mind and your body and tells your mind and your body that it's time to sleep. For a lot of people, that is as simple as brushing your teeth before you go to bed. If you're someone who has that kind of a habit, your body and your mind automatically know that you're going into sleep mode and they start the process of slowing down. So, yes, brushing your teeth before going to bed is a really good habit. Other habits are, for example, drinking a warm glass of milk. That used to be something my mother always used to recommend that we do, and of course we did it our way, but it's a good habit. The third way that you can develop a habit is, you know how some people read before sleeping? Well, I don't know if that's such a good habit. If you're someone who reads before you sleep, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Because on the one hand, it distracts your mind from your own life, but on the other hand, it gets your mind thinking about the material that you're reading. And because we want to shut down the thinking process, that's not always a good thing, especially if you're reading a literature, a book, a story that gets you emotionally involved, and then you take that into your sleep. Now you're going to dream about it, and that is not a restful sleep. So I don't recommend reading before you go to bed. I don't recommend going to bed straight after watching a movie or watching something on TV unless you do the next couple of steps, because you want to stop your mind from bringing all of that material into your sleep mode. And how you do that is tip number 2. You do that by giving your mind a specific instruction. So I write on a cue card like this my instructions for my mind, just because it helps me to remember it. And that card is on my bedside table. Now, after many years of doing this process, I don't really need to reach for the card unless I'm really, really sleepy, because then I find it easier to remember the words when I have the card in my hand. So here are the words that I repeat. I am going to bed now. I want to sleep well. I want my body to relax and rejuvenate. I want to reset myself emotionally and physically. I want to wake up feeling energized and ready for my day. So this, in effect, is an instruction that you're giving to your mind. You're telling your mind, I want to sleep well. I want to stop thinking. I want to relax both physically and mentally, and I want to rejuvenate myself. So this affirmation, if you want to call it that, is from the book Unlimited, which is a 40-day workout. If you're interested in this 40-day law of attraction workout, the link to get the book, which is available in audio, Kindle, and paperback format, is in the description below. So that's tip number 2. Give your mind a specific instruction. Step number 3. Make sure that you are comfortable. Make sure that you feel comfortable in your bed, and then appreciate that. So as you lay down, appreciate how wonderful it feels to be in bed, how much you love that pillow, how much you love your comforter, and just the comfort of your body. And then just relax and stretch. So you do that by extending your legs straight out and kind of turning your feet like that and pointing your toes right horizontally so that you can feel the stretch through your whole body. So just stretch, because that helps you relax. It takes the tension out of all your muscles. And then stretch your arms as well. Just stretch and feel that stretch going through your whole body. And then say the words, relax. And say them aloud if you like. And then the next thing you know, you will be asleep. Well, that's how it goes for me just now. But in order to get to that place, I did an additional step. So step number 4, or tip number 4, was that I used white noise and music, relaxing music, and you can get so much of that on the internet. So I would just plug that straight into my ears, because focusing on the white noise and the music takes your mind off whatever it was that you were thinking before. And so you want to go into sleep. White noise helps you go down through the layers of sleep, down into the really deep levels, faster. And that really helps to get that really good quality, refreshing sleep at night. So if you use a hypnosis or a guided meditation, that's okay too. But what you want to make sure is that those affirmations are general, because general affirmations work the best. And you'll find a link to a video that I did about affirmations and how it relates to the emotional scale below. Because if you make too big a stretch with your affirmations, meaning too big a vibrational stretch from where you are to where you want to go, that actually is not helpful and can damage you. So it is really important to keep your affirmations 100% believable to your mind, because you want your mind to accept them rather than reject them. So watch that video on affirmations. The link is below. So I would use something that has really general affirmations that feel true to you, that when you say them out aloud yourself, you can resonate with them and your mind doesn't reject them, and your mind doesn't say, oh, that's a complete lie. What are you talking about? Your mind has to say, yes, I agree. We can achieve this. This looks good. So use those affirmations, because as you go down into your sleep, you are planting those affirmations as new beliefs in what we call the subconscious mind. Now, I have a different way of looking at the subconscious. To me, the word subconscious means it's something that I've given my control to that I don't have control over. It controls me. And my definition of the subconscious mind is different. Subconscious is not something you cannot control. It is something you have absolute control on. It's just that it's not in your short-term memory. I look at it somewhat in the form of memory with computers. So the memory of the computer, whatever is in the current memory, whatever you've loaded up, is what you have access to. But then you have access to so much more on your hard disk, right? And you don't always remember everything that you've got stored in your hard disk. So our subconscious is like that hard disk. We have so much stored on it that we don't remember that it is there, but it doesn't mean that we don't have control over it. We have absolute control. Just like you have absolute control, you can go into the hard disk on your computer and delete files and access files. So that's how it works. Subconscious is not something that you don't have control over. But what we want to do as we go down the different levels of consciousness is that we want to plant new beliefs. And the trick with doing that is, the more believable those affirmations and new beliefs are, the easier it is for you to plant them as you go into your sleep. But sleep is not where affirmations are working. Affirmations do all their work in the time that you are actually falling asleep. A really good affirmation to take into your sleep is the one that I just shared with you that talks about rejuvenating and relaxing. That's a really good one. So once you are asleep, once you get into that phase, you don't want anything there. You don't want to be talking, because sleep is about resting your mind. And if you keep giving your mind stuff to do, then it's not going to rest properly. So you need a guided meditation that just repeats those affirmations for the first, let's say, 5 to 10 minutes. After that, you will be asleep. And then, me personally, I just take my earbuds out after a while because I don't need them anymore. I am enjoying a delicious night's sleep. So those are my tips. Now, this wearing the headphones or earbuds or whatever it is that you use with your guided meditation, you'll probably only need to do it for a couple of days. If it's something that's easy, if it's not, sleep has not been avoiding you for a very long time, then it's just going to take a couple of days. But if you're like me and sleep has been avoiding you for a very long time, you have to do this exercise for a while. And I recommend doing it for as long as it takes. There's no specific period because everyone is different. And what everyone needs in order to get to a place of higher vibration is different, because we all have a different set of beliefs. And our beliefs have different holds on us, which means they have different level of momentum. And so it takes a different amount of time for each person who does this in order to get to that place of really refreshing sleep. So I would just go with what you want. Don't expect that it's going to start working right away, because it does take time. But you will find, if you keep with the exercise, if you keep up with all these things before going to bed, and then if you use that guided meditation in order to fall asleep, you'll find that it really works. And then, later on, there may be those days where your mind is hyperactive, it's in hyper mode, or you're sleeping with someone who snores and it bothers you. You can just pop those earbuds into your ears and you can fall asleep. Now, my personal thing is I no longer use a guided meditation or affirmations while I'm falling asleep. But what I do use is white noise. And there are two things that I have. So one, I have a specific white noise producing machine that comes with glasses that you put on, and the glasses produce light. And as you focus on the light and you focus on the noise, you are able to withdraw your two strongest senses, which are your sense of vision and your auditory sense, your sense of hearing, away from the world. And when you do that, that's when you can go into the deeper layers of sleep. So I have that machine, but what I use most commonly is my phone. I use an app on my phone that's called the Rain app. And that app enables me, I love the sound of rain. So I can, on that app, I can turn on the sound of rain and combine it with a soft piano. And that's all I need. That's what I go to sleep with on those days when I need a little bit help. But most days, like I said, I put my head down and I'm gone. So I hope that these tips are going to help you to start enjoying a really, really delicious night's sleep every night. Because when we have a good night's sleep, we go into the mode of allowing all those things that we've been asking for to start happening for us. Because when we are defocused, that means we are not thinking our own thoughts. And that allows the universe to bring to us all the things that we've been asking for. So sleep is a really, really good process. And getting a good night's sleep is really, really important in order to become a powerful manifester. Someone who is unlimited, which I know you are. And I have discovered over a period of time where I have not given up, and I have done these exercises that I am now sharing with you on a daily basis. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a comment to let me know, and come back because I'll be sharing more strategies with you that have had a practical impact on my life. If you like this video, please share it with someone who might find it useful, and do click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so that I can invite you to come back for more. Bye for now.